Hey, book lovers, I'm Candice.
And I'm Chrissy. And you've just stumbled into your new favorite book club, Bookalicious.pod.
We're two sisters reading our way through fantasy, fiction, thrillers, and the occasional "what did we just read" moments.
Every week, we break down books chapter by chapter
with deep dives, hot takes, and detours into sisterly side convos.
Think a cozy book club mixed with a FaceTime call, sprinkled with a little chaos.
We don't hold back on the characters we love or the ones we love to hate.
We play games like Read It Like Reddit, Red Flag or Deal Breaker, and have Spotify polls for you to guess along with our plot theories.
If you've got a TBR pile a mile high, including Akatar or Frida McFadden,
or just want to feel like you're hanging with your bookish besties, hit play. This is Bookalicious Pod. Okay, we're back.
We're back. Today, we just dropped Harry Potter Part 1.
So fun. Already, everyone's so excited. Everyone loves Harry Potter.
Everyone's excited. Thank God you guys are excited too, because we want to keep reading it.
I know. Yeah, I don't know how many people have voted on the poll. I think there were 3 last time I checked, but 2 of them might have been us.
Which sounds, okay, you're like, that's unimpressive. But some of our polls will get, 200 or 300 submissions.
Right. And this one just posted today. Okay. So the poll still only has 3. But dear friend of the pod, F. Smith, did say, oh my gosh, so excited. Can't wait for more Harry Potter.
F. Smith, she used to comment on all of our Spotify, and then she said she was going to Apple, but I think she heard our shout out last week and she said, I have to come back.
You're right. I forgot about that. She re-downloaded Spotify just so she could comment and say, bring back more Harry.
I should say I'm also a tier 1 listener.
In case you forgot.
In case you forgot, we would never forget.
Never, F. Smith.
Did you listen to me splice in the...
Oh, no, I didn't. I forgot about that. Oh, gosh, I forgot about that. No. I don't know if I want to relive it. How'd it sound?
I thought it came out pretty good. You should listen to it and see, for editing purposes, if we want to keep that style for next time.
I bet it's great.
Well, we'll see. Okay, but we are not here to talk about Harry Potter, unless that is what you want, and then we'll throw this book away and just keep...
No, this is for other tier 1 friend of the pod.
Yes. Okay, what did you think about the ending?
I liked it. I really liked this book.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the book. I wish there were a few more answers about Eric's death and that she did a little bit more investigating into Daphne. Because she just let it drop. And I was like, what? You're not going to try to reach out to her or something?
Right.
I thought that could have been nice. But it seemed like everyone just wrote off Daphne. They're like, well, she's an addict.
She's an addict.
Yeah. Threw her life away. Done with her.
Can't help her. Can't be bothered.
I know. So I was like, what? That seemed a little strange. But overall, I think I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
You unraveled the whole mystery.
Oh my gosh. I was so tickled. And then I went to Goodreads and everyone there was trying to steal my joy. And they said, I know. So predictable. Easiest mystery.
You're like, hey.
I worked really hard on that theory and I felt very, very smart.
I thought you were very smart.
Thank you. I mean, it wasn't a complicated theory, and she did leave like a lot of Easter eggs, but you just have to.
He did.
You just had to be looking. So if you weren't,
and
looking,
I guess also there was only like 3 characters, so if they're all going to be connected, there's only one way. So I guess that's part of it.
Yes. I really liked the book and I liked the ending and I thought it was like a perfect cozy fiction read.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really nice. I thought the writing was really well done. I wish that we knew again, like with the loose ends with her brother.
Forgot about him.
Well, so did so did the author. So did Shelby. She forgot too. But
What what question do you want answered about her brother?
I just want to know what their estrangement was caused from.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I totally forgot about that.
That was a
Nope.
real sticking point, and I was looking forward to seeing something.
Nope. It wasn't important.
No.
Yeah. Interesting. That did come up on the Reddits and the Goodreads of like there's all these unnecessary details and scenes
Mm-hmm.
that we didn't need, which I feel like adds to the it's like it's a slice of life thing. So, you're
Yeah.
getting all the details about life. So that didn't really bother me, but I guess it did raise up all these questions that then yeah, never got answered.
And so I already did my Goodreads review for the our account, and I posited that like maybe part of it is just like it's not supposed to be answered, or you're
Right.
just supposed to, that's life. You don't get closure on every little thing.
Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like that's maybe what she was going for. Because I also saw that on another review where it was like, we don't get all the answers about Eric's death or disappearance, but like Tova doesn't either. And so like we need to be okay with that. Like Tova's has to be okay with it.
Right.
And I was like, I guess you're right. So, which I think is actually really good. Like it's kind of unsatisfying in some ways, but for the type of book she's writing where it's like slice of life, I think it's great.
Hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Do you think it would have been better if Cameron, instead of hunting down his dad, had been hunting down his mom to get her to tell him who his dad was?
Hmm. I don't really know. That's a good question. I am so confused why he isn't trying to reconnect with his mom at all. Especially with the Simon Brinks thing, when he was like, "I'll answer any question you have about your mom." And he said, "No, thank you." I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Really?" I thought that was
Well,
weird.
okay. Yes, but what I would say, like, having adjacent experience to people with parental figures who are addicts, it can be a very difficult kind of relationship to navigate. And I think for some
Yeah.
people, how they cope with it and how they move forward is by like just basically like cutting them out. And so
Yeah.
maybe part of it is that Cameron is so deeply wounded by his mom, he can't even go to the place of trying to find her, you know?
I think that's what it has to be. So, yeah, that's fair. I don't have that experience, so I can't fully understand, but I could see how that would make sense.
Yeah, like if it were, I feel like if it were for any other reason other than addiction, then it would be weird. Like if I thought my mom had, if my mom just left me, let's just say, with no reason, maybe it would be easier to like go want to seek them out versus
I don't know, maybe not.
no, that
That
feels
could still be
exactly the
really
same.
hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like any sort of like abuse or like trauma,
Yeah.
you're like, I just want that to be done with.
Yeah. No, that
So
makes
I could see
sense.
that. So I mean, maybe it's not weird that he didn't want to seek out his mom. And maybe Tova
It's
didn't want to reopen that either for him.
right. I think like if he had met his mom, it would have been more interesting in the sense that like we could have gotten more information on Eric's death
Mm-hmm.
versus the way that Shelby had us learn about it, which was like kind of like a crazy, okay, I
The
guess.
Avery thing,
Yeah.
that was wild. Yeah, I
Like,
thought that was a
okay.
little too on the nose. I was like, what?
Yeah. Like, okay. Cool, cool, cool.
Would you have preferred if Avery, if that whole part was just taken out? We never even got that detail. We just had to assume Daphne and Eric were together. Somehow his
Yeah.
boating accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I would have too. But I mean, she does kind of that at least answers some questions Otherwise, we get like no answers.
I know. The only other way that she could have done it if Cameron doesn't go look out for his mom and she tells him is that Marcellus, she lets him in the ocean and then he goes down to the bottom and he grabs Eric's skull and then he brings it to the top and then you see that there's a bludgeoned wound in the
Oh
back.
my gosh. Just in
That
the
she'd
shape of
probably
a
think he was
boom.
murdered.
Yeah. She's like, what did Daphne do?
That would have just made it worse. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if Marcellus could swim that quick in his old age.
He's in his dying breath. All he wants to do
I
is help this old woman.
know. Poor Marcellus. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe I think I would have liked it if Daphne had closed the gap a little bit more.
I would have liked that, and I would have liked Cameron to get like more proper closure with his mom, whether it was like rekindling or whether it was just him having a confrontation and just laying it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have liked that.
I think I would have liked that. And that feels like a more organic way that you find out about Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, Avery seemed made up. Scooby-Doo style.
Yeah, what I would say is the reason why I wouldn't give this book a perfect 5 is because of Cameron. And this relates because I feel like Cameron coming in, he is such a mess. He continues to be a mess this whole time. And now he meets a woman who has a 15-year-old kid, and suddenly he's like really put together.
Do you think it's because of Avery? I think it's because of a mix of things, of him moving to Soul Bay.
I think it's a mix of Soul Bay and it's supposed to be like a representation of his character arc. I feel like of him like, moving out and doing this and doing that and he's becoming like responsible and showing up for work and coming back and not
Yeah.
quitting. But I don't really feel like we saw that journey really. It felt a little magical.
No. Yeah. I would agree. He was pretty much the same throughout a lot of it. Although in like the kind of final chapters, it's like, oh, maybe now he's got his life back together. So I don't know. But maybe I'm not sure. Are you dissatisfied that his issue was that he didn't know who his family was? He felt very abandoned by his mom, finds his grandma, she takes care of him, and now everything's okay. And he didn't really go through the growth of being okay with it on his own, of
I,
like working through that.
now that you say it, it does sound like he's just found a new mummy.
I mean, isn't that kind of what happened?
Now he has two mummies. He has his mummy girlfriend and then his mummy Tora,
Grandmummy.
grandmummy. And these two women just keep him on the rails. Okay,
Right?
I have a lot more to say, but why don't we just do the summaries really quick? Get that
Okay.
out of the way.
I know, after we've already spoiled the whole book. Okay, so I just have one big summary.
All right.
Let me just read through it.
Yep.
Okay, so part 2. So I have no idea what chapter this is. Oh, it's after epilogues and epitaphs or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We'll put it
It's
in the
the next
description.
half of the book. If you read the first part, now it's the
Yeah,
rest.
this is the rest. Okay. All right. So Marcellus knows that Cameron is Tova's grandson because he's like the AI for genetic traits. He sees that they walk the same. He really is.
Scanning.
Yeah. It's like matching it up with his database. Okay, he sees that they walk the same way, and that's all it takes for him to call it. He knows his life is winding down, so he's determined to use his final days to close the hole in Tova's heart so both she and Cameron can have answers to their missing family. However, it's not so easy for Marcellus to get these people in the loop, so it takes most of the rest of the book for Tova and Cameron to realize.
Oh my God.
So here's the rest of the 2-page summary. In the meantime, Tova is coming to terms with being in the winter of her own life and decides she doesn't want to be a burden on anyone in her old age. So she puts her house up for sale and fills out an application to live in the retirement home. She, of course, tells no one and is totally happy with this arrangement until 2 bombshells happen at Marianne's goodbye party. Bombshell number 1. It slips that Tova is selling her house and moving to the retirement home. Everyone objects and says, this doesn't make any sense. Tova says, don't care, not your concern.
But
Man. Bombshell number 2. Adam, the biker who helped her with the crossword puzzle earlier, gets drunk at Marianne's party and starts talking about Tova's deceased son, Eric. He says that one of his last memories with Eric is Eric saying that he's going to sneak beers from his parents' fridge and bring his girl to their cabin. This rocks Tova's world because she didn't know Eric had a girlfriend or any love interest at the time. Now all she could think about is who this girl was. This starts a series of events where Tova tries to find out more information. This will get resolved later, but basically, Tova discovers that the girl's name was Daphne. She finds a Daphne Castmore in her son's yearbook. Eric knows this is Cameron's mom. He tries to tell Tova, but he isn't able to. But Marcellus helps Tova piece it together by leaving Cameron's license under the seal statue in the aquarium. Tova suspects Cameron and Daphne are related, but hasn't quite put all the pieces together yet. Okay, although she's still on medical leave, Tova goes back to the aquarium after hours to see Marcellus and to check in on the place. She comes just in time to help Cameron return an escaped Marcellus back to the tank. Cameron responds by quoting Hamlet, and Tova says, that was one of my son's favorite plays. And so, I know, sweet. And so now Cameron and Tova are friends. Tova keeps coming by the aquarium to help Cameron clean and to mentor him on proper cleaning techniques so the aquarium is in good hands when she moves to the retirement home. Cameron's life outside of the aquarium seems to be going pretty well. He and Avery, the super cute girl from the paddle boat store, go on a paddle date, and now they're an item. He also saves enough money to pay back Aunt Jean, which I thought was incredible, and is getting along well with Ethan, the Shopway owner. Remarkably, he even gets a last-minute call back from Simon Brinks to meet with him that afternoon. Cameron cancels his date with Avery, speeds down to Seattle to meet Simon, a.k.a. his future dad. Once there, things take a Scooby-Doo type of turn. Simon says, I know why you're here. You want to know about your mom, Daphne. Cameron says, no, okay. I want to know about my dad. You. Simon says, that isn't me. So it turns out Simon was one of Daphne's besties back in high school. So Simon immediately recognized Cameron's last name. Unfortunately, Simon has no idea who Cameron's dad is. Even though Simon seems incredibly nice and offers to answer any other question Cameron may have, Cameron starts spiraling and walks out of his meeting with Simon and decides he's going back to Modesto. But first, he goes back to the aquarium so he can leave a note to the manager. At the aquarium, who does he see but Tova? Cameron dramatically tells Tova that his life is over and he's moving back to Modesto, and he throws the class ring into the eel tank because it has the acronym EELS on it. Tova says he's better than just walking out on all of his commitments, but he says, no, I'm not, and he immediately leaves to start the long drive back to Modesto. Tova finishes cleaning the aquarium and will return the next night for her final clean. Marcellus makes his grand finale and rescues the class ring from the eels. He loses strength to return back to his tank, but Tova comes just in time to rescue him and discovers the class ring. She immediately knows this belonged to her son, so now she knows Cameron is her grandson and Marcellus knew the whole time. She knows Marcellus is dying, so she puts him in the mop bucket and takes him outside so he can return to the sea. They have a tender moment before Tova releases him back to his home for his final swim, where he does not find Eric's skull on the bottom of the ocean. Tova decides she can't...
Okay, but he does say that he saw it.
Oh, that's true, actually. He does. If only he had a camera. Would have fixed it. Man. Okay. Tova decides she can't possibly leave Soul Bay now. Marcellus thinks these humans are also remarkably bright creatures. Sweet. Cameron realizes he's being a goofball and decides to turn right back around and go back to Soul Bay. He drives straight to Tova's house to apologize to her and make amends. Tova says, don't sweat it, kid. Also, I'm your grandma. She explains everything to him and gives him a tour of her house that she has to be out of in a few hours because a new family is moving in. As a kind of epilogue, we see that Tova and Cameron are now living together in a condo on the water. He's working a construction job and is going to start school for engineering, and he's still with Avery. Ethan comes over all the time and listens to records. Tova volunteers at the aquarium, specifically at the octopus exhibit, and gave a huge donation to the aquarium to build an octopus statue commemorating Marcellus. She talks to the new octopus, but realizes that Marcellus really was a one of a kind cephalopod.
Aww.
The end.
Okay, so overall, really enjoyed it.
Me too. Yeah, totally judge this book by its cover. It was a good
Yeah,
book.
it was a good book, but I do have some nitpicks.
With the nitwits.
With the nitwits. I was thinking about I wrote that in my Goodreads. I said I have some nitpicks, and then I put wits in parentheses. I was like, I'm cute.
So clever. Only true fans would get it.
So, one question that I have is I don't remember you going specifically over this in your summary, but Ethan and Tova start a
I kind of
relationship.
skipped over them.
Yeah, okay. So they basically start a relationship, and before she moves out of town, Ethan's like, Tova, let me like make you dinner.
Hmm.
And so Ethan and Tova, they're like having dinner or whatever, and it was great, and it was like really like what do you call that? Like flirty.
Oh, do you think it was really flirty with Tova? I think Ethan was probably trying to be flirty.
Well, I guess I feel like it's flirty because Tova was having flirty thoughts. Like she's in the kitchen and she's like, I'm gonna clean up the kitchen. And oh my gosh, like everything is like so unorganized and this and that. And she was like, I need to find rags. And then the rags were like in the oven. They were like in a weird spot.
Where was the flirty thought?
The flirty thought is that she's like thinking, sorry, I thought that was self-explanatory. The flirty thought is that
Like he needs her kind of thing, like she
she's
completes
like
him.
she's like already imagining moving in and
Oh, okay,
like
okay, okay.
organizing his stuff and being his little lady.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Okay, so all right. All of this to say, what is the real question? The real question is that then when Tova mops and uses like cleans the dishes, she uses a t-shirt
Mm-hmm. That was underneath the sink
that was
in his
underneath the
pantry.
sink in his
It
pantry.
was a wild organization system.
Yeah, it was crazy. And she uses that, and then it turns out that's like his signed autograph super special t-shirt.
Mm-hmm. From
And
like
then
1995.
yeah, and he gets mad, and then after she leaves, and then she like ices him out. So my question, what do you think about all of that?
I thought it was wild because do you remember the reason why Ethan invited her over in the first place?
It was like a date, wasn't it?
It was a date, but he also was going to tell her about Daphne.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he
Oh,
didn't get a chance to. I was like, you're kidding. You didn't get a chance to like stop her on the way out because while she was leaving, he was like, wait, Tova, there's actually something I need to tell you. But she had already closed the door. And I was like, you can run out there. Like, I really feel like it's not that hard to tell her if you really feel like you need to tell her this thing.
that part felt very like movie-esque, where it's like this wouldn't happen in
Just
real
missed
life.
it. Yeah.
J- Could it? She sped off the old woman
Yeah, with her sprained ankle.
with her sprained ankle, ran to her car, revved it, and
No
sped off.
way. Makes no sense. Oh gosh. Okay, so what did I think about the dinner though? I'm glad she went to the dinner. That was cute. Let's see. I thought the rag thing, I mean, I thought the rag thing was pretty reasonable from Ethan's side because he was like upset about it. But then he pretty quickly was like, it's okay, like whatever. I thought the
Yeah.
really crazy thing was how she replaced it. That to me was unbelievable.
Tova, I think Tova is low key toxic.
What are her toxic traits?
Well, she went into someone's house. She cleaned, which I understand is nice, but she didn't ask. She wants to start rearranging all of his stuff. She does a whole kitchen clean with a t-shirt. That is physically impossible. Those shirts are not absorbent.
I
I,
show.
I
There's
wrote, I was
no
like,
towels,
there's no I mean, that
no
is
paper
crazy.
towels.
That
Yeah.
right. She couldn't find any. What is Ethan doing? But at that point, I was like, Tova is already in the old home. She's in memory care unit right now. This did not happen.
Oh my gosh. That's always your explanation. That
I
was
know.
Killy Millie.
They're always in the mental hospital. She's in the
Yeah.
mental hospital right now. But she does this basically like infiltrating someone's space, not having boundaries, messing up their t-shirt, and then they get upset, rightfully so, and then she ghosts them.
Yeah, I think she just felt kind of embarrassed.
I know that's why, but like
I'm not saying she's mature lady over there, but you
it
just would
just
expect more.
it just I mean, you might not do things with bad intentions, but you can still be like kind of toxic. That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Like I understand why. I would feel really embarrassed too. Like how Shelby described all of Tova's feelings. That's exactly how I would feel too. That doesn't mean that.
Yeah. Yeah, so are you confused why Ethan likes Tova or why
No, I'm
anyone
just
likes Tova?
well maybe that is maybe that I was just building a case that Tova's toxic. That was one of my big thoughts from this book. So I'm like slowly like putting all the pieces together. I didn't have another thought after that, but it would make sense. Why would Ethan want to be with this very toxic woman? But I don't know.
I don't think she's very toxic. She's
Okay.
got some quirks. Okay,
Okay.
what did you? Oh, did you have something to add to that? Because I'm still on Tova, but did you have another Tova toxic
Well,
Tova?
I just had that she like iced him out. You find out later that she says, "Oh, I know he has like a big crush on me." And she's
Oh, she
like
does.
still, yeah, and she like still not like returning calls and like avoiding him. And I felt like that was a little bit of a manipulation tactic. And then she shows up with this like ridiculously over the top extravagant gift that she did. I don't know. It just felt weird. All right, now go with your Tova thing.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Well, okay, so one of the first things we learn in part two is that her husband, Will, died 2 years ago. Because we weren't sure about the timeline here. But I'm like, two
That
years
isn't
is
a long
really
time.
recent.
That's really not a long time.
Yeah. So as far as like, because we
That's a
had
big
talked last time
strike
about
against my
her,
case.
I kind, I mean, just something to keep in perspective.
Yeah.
Because we were saying how she's like always living in the past. And maybe with Eric's death, it's like, well, that was a long time ago, but like, you never get over it. But
Mm-hmm.
she is kind of stuck there. But we're also saying that with Will's death, but like 2 years is nothing.
Yeah.
So,
No.
so that's something I think to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she doesn't seem to communicate with anyone very well. Because yeah, she doesn't talk to Ethan. And then this thing with Adam comes up where he's like, "Oh, I knew your son," and she like wants to ask questions, but she never does.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, and then all of her friends, she doesn't really talk to them either. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd say that she's toxic, but she's just a little cactus, a little
Yeah.
hard to get
Okay.
close to.
Okay. The husband of your whole life dying 2 years ago. I'm now of the camp of give her a pass.
We'll let you have this one, Tova.
We'll let Tova have this one because I did forget that. I mean, that's pretty bad. But she still, I think, treats Ethan really poorly, and I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't know if this excuses her, but she doesn't treat him any worse than she treats everybody else. And she does buy back the t-shirt.
That is true.
I
That
don't
is
know.
true.
I don't know. I feel like she's very proper, but she's not friendly. And I think it's hard to be friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And maybe that's like just a different personality type, where it's
Yeah,
like
maybe
once
that's
you
it.
because she's just kind of, well, I was gonna say she's just shy, but she's kind of grumpy with her nitwit friends too.
I think she's just particular and proper. And if anyone isn't that, she's upset. So that's not everyone's favorite personality to
Yeah.
be friends with, but it seems the whole town loves her.
Well, I think it plays better. That personality plays a lot better when you're old.
You get a
Like as
pass.
like if you're an old person, it's almost kind of funny. If you're a young person, it's like, oh my God, you're
Annoying.
well, yeah, you're like you're already so grumpy. It's like you got a long way to go, dude.
The world's gonna do a number on you still.
Yeah, yeah. So when you're already old, I feel like it's kind of funny and quirky. But if you were like a young
Hmm.
person like this, a snob.
Yeah. I could see that. Okay, what did you think about so Janice takes Tova out for lunch when she finds out that
Hmm.
she's moving. And Tova tells Janice that she doesn't want to be a burden, which is why she's moving to the retirement home. She's like, I don't have kids like all you guys do. So I'm taking care of myself this way. And then Janice says, well, that's your problem, assuming it's a burden to help you. What did you think of that line?
I mean, that is a burden.
Yeah.
I was kind of on Team Tova on this one. I think Tova just moving and not telling anyone and selling her house and making it so fast is again another toxic trait. Although we will forgive her, as we said before. But this, I was Team Tova. What do you
Interesting.
think?
I thought that was so sweet of Janice. I was like, oh, Janice. But like, but it is true. Like taking care of someone is a burden. But I mean, it kind of reminds me of like raising a kid, where it's like it is also in one way 100% a burden. But like
Yeah,
people do it willingly because they love the kid,
yeah,
you know? So like you'd have to be in a really special situation for people to bring you in and to take care of you like out of love, which
yeah,
could totally happen in
yeah.
Soul Bay. I don't know. Maybe. I think it's
Well,
possible, but it is, I mean, it is a lot.
I think what's hard about that, because again, Team Tova, is that you
Mhm.
don't know how long you're going to live and you don't know how healthy you're going to be.
Right.
And it's not a big ask now when you're healthy and you have your facilities, but what happens in 5 years when I have dementia and, I'm really crotchety and I'm not healthy and I need like a nurse and maybe now you want me to leave, but I can't leave.
Right. No, I mean, that's true. I know. I mean, kind of like with the kid thing, it's like if this is going to work, the person's making a lifelong commitment,
Right.
which is difficult. And I don't know if I would sign my friends up for that. So, like, I get what Tova's saying.
And my friends aren't like super young. What if
That's
they're not
true.
healthy and now I'm taking care? It's
Right.
that, that
No, I
was
mean,
like love you, Janice, but that's a ridiculous statement. Unless like you guys are all pitching in on like a live-in nurse, like you're going three ways
right.
in.
I mean, maybe that could be an idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do get what Tova's saying.
Yeah. Very
But
sweet
the
gesture.
sentiment,
The
yeah,
sentiment.
the sentiment of us like just assuming you're a burden versus like, okay, do you think it's possible for this to be a gift kind of situation? Like Tova could be a gift by maybe moving in and helping with the kids, and then when she's older, it's like now you take care of Tova. Tova
Yeah.
could clean your house every day and it'd be sparkling. And then
You could
when
make
she's older,
Tova your live-in nanny and maid. And
but then you take care of her.
and when the
It's a
time
gift.
comes, then you're the nanny and maid for Tova.
See? Perfect. Tova would probably hate the way you clean.
Yeah. Yes, I think that can definitely be. I do think like maybe Janice would be thinking that that's a gift, but if it's Janice's daughter, I don't think Janice's daughter would ever think of that as a
Hmm.
gift.
Right.
Getting another old person you have to take care of.
Right. It's
Like,
different if you didn't ask for it. Didn't sign
yeah,
up for this.
yeah.
That is
So
a
I
lot.
appreciate the sentiment, but it's a crazy statement.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe that can be our poll. That's kind of too dark of a poll, I think.
I did, I didn't like how Tova handled the housing situation.
Oh, of which part? Not telling
Like,
anybody?
not telling anyone and making it so fast.
I didn't either. I was the whole time I was like, she can't possibly be selling her house. Where is she and Cameron gonna live?
I
I
know.
was so sad. I know, but I mean, I guess it's just I don't know, it's just part of Tova's personality, not telling anybody, independent.
I think it's just that Tova is emotionally unavailable. And I think we talked about it. It's probably for good reason. And when I don't, what is the definition of emotionally unavailable?
I don't know, but I mean also could
Inability to form deep, meaningful connections and relationships. Yeah. I feel like she keeps everyone at an arm's length as like a form of protection for herself, where she doesn't want to get hurt again by having these like really deep, close relationships.
yeah, I could see that.
So being like emotionally unavailable, I feel like you do things that are kind of mean as a way to keep people far away.
Mm.
And that whole experience of like selling the house and moving, I think that was mean to her friends.
Hmm. Interesting. Like not giving them more of a heads up.
Yeah, just like, oh, I've been here for 50 years, but I'm leaving next month. And I didn't even tell you about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, what?
You know who that reminds me of? What book it reminds me of?
Cerulean Sea?
No.
Oh.
Who does it remind you of in Cerulean Sea?
Well, I don't know if this is the connection you were making, but the one I was making was Linus being like, I can't live with you. I have to go back to my house. And then he sold his
Oh,
house. And then he came back.
um,
But
I
that
don't
was
know if that's really
that
the
was
same.
Chrissy's 7 months pregnant and she's done with me.
That's not true.
She said, I can't take it. Okay. What were you gonna say?
I was trying to remember what that whole situation was, but I feel like it wasn't the same situation.
Okay,
What
tell me
I
what you were
was
gonna say.
what I was thinking of was our other favorite book, The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh no.
Our unreleased episode.
Okay, you want to hear the craziest thing?
Okay, yeah. Did you
In
listen to it?
the in Lessons in Chemistry episode 6, when we're talking about the review, you bring up The
Oh,
Fault in Our Stars then as well.
see, it comes up with everything. It's such a great piece of literature.
I know, I know.
I feel like I bring it up quite often.
Do you do?
If we need to
Okay,
reread
so
it.
why does this
Okay.
remind you of The Fault in Our Stars?
It reminds me of The Fault in Our Stars because one of the things we talked about was two different ways of dealing with like pain or I don't know, hardship. Basically, what we said was that there was Augustus and there was Hazel, and they were both facing death, and they had two opposite ways of dealing with it. And Augustus was like,
Yes.
I'm going to make the biggest impact I can on the world, do the most good. And Hazel was like, I'm going to cause the least damage, keep myself hidden.
Yes.
And I feel like Tova, I think it could go two ways, where Tova's like, I don't want to be hurt, so I'm not available for people. Maybe it could also go the other way of I don't want to hurt people
Mm-hmm.
by leaving. But maybe, I don't know. Actually, maybe not because she does just leave. So you're right. Maybe it's just kind of her being emotionally unavailable.
I
Because Hazel was there for her family. She had her few close people and she stayed with them.
Yeah. The fact that it's like Tova, even with the nitwits, is so prickly, I think that to me is like what makes her in my mind seem emotionally unavailable and probably has been since Ethan died. And she's
Will.
probably, oh, Eric, since Eric died.
Oh, Eric. Okay. Yeah, I get them confused too.
Yeah, so like her son dies and I think she like withdraws and now her husband's dead and now she's just like totally closed
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I get that. Okay, by the end of the book, do you think she's changed?
I think so. I think her feeling not alone and having family, I think has like helped change her. And I think
Yeah.
it was very sad that she sold the house, but I do like how they were talking about how she was like, I was living with ghosts in the house.
Yeah. She needed a new start.
Sometimes you need a new start. Now, could it have been that Cameron moves in and him and Avery, and now you have like a family and it's like bustling, and now it's like you're rewriting the story, like making new
Oh, in
memories
the
in the
house? Yeah,
house?
I think that could be a beautiful thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it could go either way. But right, I mean, maybe that's kind of part of it. Like if um Tova knew everything that was going to happen, she maybe wouldn't have sold the house because she's like, "Oh, well, Cameron can move in here and then
Right.
we'll have space and it'll be so beautiful." But the reality of life is you don't know what's going to happen. And so
Hmm.
maybe you do something that you kind of regret, but you're like, "Well, make the most of it. Now we have a condo on the beach."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, landed on her feet.
I also don't think it would have been a good character arc for Cameron to end up living with his grandma.
I mean, he
Like,
does, but like in a beautiful house versus a
does he
temporary.
live in the condo with her?
That's what I was assuming.
Oh, I thought he had like his own place.
Oh, I was assuming he's in the condo.
Oh
That's how I
God.
read it.
You're probably right. Cameron, can we talk about Cameron now?
Wait, I have one last Tova line, but then yeah,
Okay.
ready for Cameron. Well, okay, two, but one of them is a Cameron line too, so it's a good segue.
Okay.
Okay, so, um, oh, okay, so one thing talking about Tova's character arc is that um, she finalizes her house sale and she says, "I've had enough of letting that night in 1989 control my life." And I was like,
Oh.
so I feel like she's kind of, it took her a long time.
Yeah.
I guess it took her all of Cameron's life to be here. And it took all of Cameron's life for him to get here. So
Aw.
they both needed 30 years to
They they both needed
figure it
each
out.
other to maybe get the closure they needed and move
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's able to move forward. So maybe now she's becoming more emotionally
Open.
available. So I like that.
That's what I think. I think if we saw her in 5 years, she would probably be like very, very different.
I think
So
so.
this is almost like starting her character journey.
Yeah, that's true. And her job goes from cleaning alone at night, talking to the octopus, to now talking to a lot of people about the octopus.
Mm-hmm.
So big changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Other line with Cameron is that when Cameron and Tova are talking and he's like, could she be related to me? He's like, there's no way Tova could be my grandma. She's too weird and tiny.
Oh my God.
I thought that was so funny. She's too tiny and weird to be my grandma.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because one of my questions about Cameron is why did he never think again about Tova being his dad's mom, like his grandma? Because he had made that whole he had a whole done that whole decision tree and then he's like, "No, it can't be." I think it was the line that you mentioned.
Wait, yeah, I kind of forget exactly what all that was. Why did he think that? Oh, okay. So I guess this is before the. Okay, so this is with the driver's license. As soon as she finds a driver's license, Tova puts it together that Daphne is the girl that Eric had been seeing. So I guess the class ring just confirms it at the end.
Well, I'm saying Cameron has his own like montage of where he's like, could Tova be my
Right.
grandmother?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So now Tova starts explaining things and she's like, here's what happened to Eric. I found out that there was this girl. Tova's like, did you ever even like hear from your mom? Ever get a birthday card? And then he's like, nope, not even a birthday card. And then in his montage, he's thinking about what Aunt Jean said, who said, if your mom had been with Simon Brinks, like you would have heard about it. She would have been
Yeah.
smarter than that. And then he's like, well, what if my father was dead? And that's why I never heard about who he was. And then he's kind of putting the pieces together and he's like, the timeline matches because that's around
Yes,
the
you
time.
see, so he like puts the whole piece together and then he has the ring. And I feel like for me, the next step before I keep trying to find Simon Brinks is like, hey Tova, do you know
Investigate.
this?
That's true. I know. Well, okay. So do you want to know the line why he doesn't think about it
Isn't that when
anymore?
he says she's so weird?
Well, no, actually, that is
Oh.
part of Although that's a great line. No, it can't be. She's so tiny and so weird. No one else in his family is tiny or weird.
You don't know anyone in your family. Like, oh my God.
And you want to
He's not
describe
smart.
Jean as tiny and weird? I don't know. I feel like she could be one of those. Okay, but no, the next line after that is the reason why he pushes this out of his mind. He says, and it would mean that his mother was something less than terrible, not a victim, maybe even honorable, like a martyr, rather than a perpetrator of his own suffering. That absolutely does not compute. So he pushes the idea out of his mind. So he's just so stuck in his mom being evil that he's like, there's no way that she could have been part of this tragedy and suffered this loss.
Yeah.
Like she's keeping my dad from me out of spite. So I guess it's like when you have your preconceived conclusions,
Notions. Yeah.
notions. Yeah. And you're like, you already know the conclusion. So you're like disregarding all the evidence otherwise.
Yes. Yes. But then once you find out Simon Brings isn't your dad, wouldn't the next thing you do is walk that ring over and just say, do you know this person?
I know. What?
Not smart.
Yeah. No. No, despite the whole entire book saying that he's very smart.
The book had to keep reminding us that because nothing he did was smart.
We could not have gotten, you know, how they say show don't tell. So there's no
Yes.
way to show this one. You're just gonna
Because
have to take my word.
he does dumb things all the way to the bitter end.
I
Like
know.
with Avery, he
Canceling the date? I know that was crazy.
he cancels the date and
But he doesn't even tell her.
he tells her son, yeah, he doesn't call or text her.
That was a crazy thing. I think it's fine to cancel. But the way he did it, it made no sense.
Yeah. And then afterwards it's Avery feels bad because she's like, "Oh, my son didn't tell me." I'd be like, "You're an idiot.
I have a phone.
I have a phone. Call or text."
Yeah. And he waited until the time of the date to show up to the shop.
Yeah.
Call her as soon as you know. What? That was weird.
I wanted to make sure you spent all that time getting your hair done.
Yes. Being excited about this date. Got the paddles ready.
And I'm there, and you think we're gonna go, and news for
And then
you.
I cancel. What? I was shocked he and Avery are still together at the end.
Avery just wanted a new baby.
Maybe, I don't know.
She's his mummy. 100%. I thought it was kind of weird that it seemed like no one in the town knew Daphne. Was like the
Right?
feeling I got.
Yeah, only the only person who had a connection was Eric because he had seen her name on a bounce check from the store. It's like, what? Did she just jump town? She was from the other side of town, I think, is part of it too.
But like she went to the high school. I don't know. It's like
Yeah,
it seems like everybody's up in everybody's business and Daphne is like a ghost and she did do things and attend school. I don't know.
right? Like if she and Simon Brinks were besties, I feel like she probably had other friends.
Yeah, and if you're going to high school somewhere, that means that your parents live there. Because I had always taken it as
Yeah,
like she was like a nomad, but she was still in school. So then her parents are there to some degree. So like people must know them in this small
right?
town.
I know. That was weird too. Okay, did you think it was weird that when they started making the connection that Daphne was the girl that Eric liked, that then their next thought was, oh, maybe Daphne was a part of his death? Because that's one reason that Eric didn't want to tell Tova, because he was like, she's gonna think that Daphne was involved in Eric's death in like a malicious kind of way, is the feeling
Oh,
I got. Or I guess at the very least, she just jumped town and never said anything, which is what she did do, which in itself is kind of awful.
suspicious.
Suspicious. Yeah. And so he doesn't want to tarnish what Tova thinks of Cameron. So he doesn't want to tell her. But I thought that was weird. It's like, why would you assume that?
Yeah, and why would why would Eric associating with a girl
Mean that she killed him.
mean that he killed him or tarnish her memory of him?
Tarnish, no, tarnish what Tova thinks of Cameron. Because now Cameron is related to the girl
Oh,
who,
like why would that make her think of Cameron differently? This mom who abandoned you,
yeah,
who didn't raise you.
I know.
Now I don't like you. That's crazy.
Yeah. But it seemed like everyone was thinking that. They're like, oh, we can't. Daphne must have been involved. You're like, what?
I mean, that is kind of crazy. I feel like that is like small town think though.
Yeah.
One
That girl from the other side of town
it
with
was
the bounce
her.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I was like, Tova really was very mean to Ethan quite often, so maybe it was very reasonable what he was thinking about.
Yeah, that's true. He's like, I've been nothing but nice, and she has already written me off. Can't
Yeah,
imagine what this would do to Cameron.
yeah,
That's true.
I
Okay, do
did
you
think
think
that
it's
was weird.
reasonable that Daphne would skip town or like not tell anybody?
It sounds like what happened to Daphne is she became a single mom in the 80s, early 90s. Sounds like she already comes from a bad family. They can't support her. She runs off. She has this kid. Her life probably sucks. She probably gets bad boyfriends. She gets into drugs. She becomes an addict. She starts spinning out of control. And then she drops Cameron off with her sister because she's like, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But all of that started because she's in this traumatic event and then had to have a kid and was probably like very isolated.
Yeah. Okay, but like
So,
you
yes, it makes
wouldn't.
sense that she skipped town.
Okay. I do think that all makes sense. But okay, what about in like the week after the traumatic event? She probably doesn't know that she's pregnant, I would assume.
I guess
She
that's
was the
true.
last person to be with Eric. Maybe they were both drunk, which I think, maybe she was like, oh, maybe they'll think I was involved in some malicious way or something. So that's why she doesn't say it. But I don't know. You don't tell anybody anything?
Yeah, so I would have to imagine they were doing something fringe legal.
Hmm. They took a
I
boat they weren't supposed to.
took a boat, they went out when they weren't supposed to. Maybe they had like marijuana in addition to
The
beer. Maybe
drinks.
they were experimenting in drugs at the
That's
time.
possible.
And
Yeah.
she's just like, I don't want to get caught up in this. And now somebody's dead, and we had like these things. And if they start asking questions,
Yeah. I don't know how no one else in the whole town knew that they were together. That's also shocking to me. Her
I
fingerprints weren't
think,
found anywhere.
I guess that's true. Yeah, because did the police, yeah, because they asked Tova, oh, who are his girlfriends? And then Tova told them, and she never brought up Daphne.
Yeah, she didn't know about Daphne.
Yeah, you would think the police would also contact people at the high school because the kids in the high school would know.
This Adam guy knew.
He was best friends with Daphne.
No, no, Simon was best friends with Daphne, and he
Oh,
didn't know about Ethan.
oh,
Eric,
yeah.
about
That
Eric.
random
Yeah.
guy knew.
The random guy Adam knew.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I mean is like people knew. Maybe not everybody, but like people
They
knew. So if
didn't
they were
ask the right
surveying,
people. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Just after all these murder mysteries where people were found out with crazy pieces of evidence, I'm just shocked they didn't find Daphne.
I know, because if they had asked questions and then they look for Daphne and now Daphne's missing,
Right now it's suspicious.
yeah, now it's suspicious and now yeah, you're right.
So I don't know.
Shoddy police work once again.
Running theme.
Yeah. I had one line that I thought was one that you're like, oh, I'll carry this one with me.
Oh, okay.
Ethan's Ethan's talking to Cameron, and Cameron says, "What do you think I'm trying to do? It's not my fault I was dealt a bad hand." And then Ethan says, "No, the deal is never anyone's fault, but you control the way you play."
That's a good one.
I was like, I like that one.
Wow. Yeah. Ethan, he's great.
I think Shelby's very good with imagery.
She is. I love how she writes. There are some like
Hmm.
beautiful lines in here. Yeah. And another piece of advice to carry with us was let's see, Cameron, he, whatever, having a bad day. And he's like, well, my Aunt Jean always said, if your day doesn't start off right, just take a nap and try again. And I was like, that's excellent advice.
That I live by that.
Yeah. A quick reset.
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh, what did you think about Cameron getting upset with Ethan because Ethan didn't want to hire Cameron as a manager?
Oh, I think Cameron overreacted for sure.
Yeah.
That was the bad day he was having when he had to go take a nap.
Ethan is so like for someone who has nothing, he's deeply entitled.
Yeah. I mean, but do you think it's weird that Eric didn't ask him? Well, he doesn't have any experience in
No,
grocery
it's not
store
weird at
things.
all. He literally
Yeah.
showed up to your house 2 weeks ago and he was homeless in like a pea-smelling camper that
Ah,
he's like parked out in your driveway.
that's
No, I don't
true.
want you to be like the assistant manager.
That's a great point. I know. I guess though it's that on top of he got snuffed from the aquarium job or something too?
He didn't though.
He didn't. But did he
Literally,
think he was? Yeah, Cameron kind of makes things up in his mind, it seems like. Because he also thought Avery was ghosting him. I mean, there was all these crazy things.
well, it turns out Avery was ghosting him, I think.
Okay.
And then Cameron comes in with his sob story, and then she is like, "Oh, you poor little baby. I'm sorry."
I don't know if she was. I think she was just working. Like, I don't even think it had been that long.
Cameron is spiraling into a
Yes.
pit, and it's been like 25 minutes in real life.
That's how it felt. Because honestly, everything seemed to be going pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I Cameron would just make everything seem like it was so bad, or he didn't deserve this. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Oh, that's
Okay.
our
I know. Is
timer.
that our timer?
Yeah. You want to just quickly do wrap up games and then we'll call it a day?
I think so. Well, I have one last question for you, but then wrap up
All right.
games. Do you wish there was more Marcellus in the book? Or do you think there was just the right amount of Marcellus?
I think it was just the right amount.
I kind of thought so too.
Unless he was going to make a grand escape. Like I was tired of his monologues of just sitting in the aquarium. If he was going to go somewhere, I would have taken more of it. But if he was just going to keep sitting in his tank, I was over
We didn't like him being AI with
it.
genetics.
Scanning, scanning. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, I thought there was the right amount. That came up on the reviews. So,
Good question.
okay. Are we ready for our ratings?
I think so.
Alrighty. Okay, first one is message/theme.
5. That was really good.
Me too. I'm also wondering if we're just this is just so refreshing after all the murder mysteries where we haven't been able to rate message/theme.
That could
Right?
be. That could be.
This was such a great book. So wholesome, great characters. Okay. All right, writing style.
5. I really liked it.
I also think 5. I'm trying to think though if I thought it was kind of slow in some places.
It
Where I
was a
might
little
go 4 or
slow.
4.5.
It was a little slow. For me, I was okay with that. I feel like with the cozy reads, that's kind of the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But it could, there were a couple scenes that didn't need to be there, that didn't
Okay.
really add.
I'm gonna go 4.5.
Okay.
All right, character depth.
5. Everyone had
Mm.
great stories.
Do you think they were like multifaceted though? Cameron was pretty the same. Like I feel like we saw the beginning of they were just about to take off and fly.
I guess you're right. And some of the characters were a little crazy, like Avery.
Avery, she was wild. Why did she like
You're right.
Cameron? That was
Now that
never
I'm thinking about
explained.
it, 4.
I think I'm gonna go 4 too. Even though I did like the characters. And I love the way that she made them. I mean, I don't
Hmm.
know, but maybe this is as deep as they go. That's just how the characters are right now. You know? You know what I'm saying?
God,
Like it's not her fault that they're not good.
I'm in a very persuadable mood because now I'm like, you're right, 5.
It's so hard. Maybe
Okay,
I'll go
4.5.
4.5.
4.5, and I'm done.
Okay,
Don't talk to
for
me
both of
anymore about
us.
this.
Oh my gosh, I know I can't decide either. All right, lands a plane.
4. There were
Ooh.
some loose ends that I wanted resolved. Otherwise, why did you
Oh,
bring them up?
that's fair. I think I'll go 4.5. I thought overall, I mean, I don't know, maybe a 5 because all the big things I really liked.
Yeah.
I'll go 5 on this one.
All right.
All right, entertainment value.
3.
Oh, really?
It's slow.
Do you think you'd finish it if we weren't potting on it?
I would, but it would have taken me a long time.
Yeah.
5 pages at a time, probably.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 4. All right, other miscellaneous. Anything else we haven't covered?
I feel like everything was covered. I think overall, I feel like a 4
Hmm.
for bonus
I was
points.
thinking overall, thinking a 5. I'd
All
recommend it.
right.
I think it's a good read.
I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think our grand total is?
We gave it some high rates. I'm thinking a 4.8.
Not that high. Got a 4.5.
Dang. It was probably my
Mm-hmm.
3.
Your 3 did do a number.
Did a
Well,
number.
even if that was a 5, that would have been 4.6.
Oh, okay.
So we
Okay,
gave a
not too
lot of
bad.
fours. Fours and 4.5s.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what did
Okay.
the read it like Reddits say?
Okay. So a lot of people really loved it. The things people didn't like about it was Cameron. That came up a lot. They said, why was this? Let me find a good one. Basically, they kept calling him a man child.
Yes, I
Why?
agree.
Let me see.
Tova gets another chance to raise a baby boy from the very beginning.
Yes. Okay. This is a review from 2-star review from Goodreads. They said the author failed to give enough reasons for me to care about any of the characters. They all felt predictable and half-hearted. Cameron's character was just the regular annoying, whiny.
Uh,
Wait, no. Was just the regular, annoying, whiny kind of loser who blames everybody else for his hard life. Um, we are constantly reminded how smart he is, and yet the only way his smarts present themselves is through some random trivia. A 30-year-old man who was raised by an aunt. It's true. That was a good point. A 30-year-old man who was raised by an aunt who made sure he had a roof over his head rather than just being thrown into the system, who still blames his mother for all of his life choices and mistakes, is not someone I can feel sorry for. Grow up and get your act together. I wanted more octopus and less insufferable man-child.
Cameron was legitimately infuriating and so stupid.
It was. But you're also kind of infuriated by Tova a little bit. Maybe not infuriated.
Tova didn't infuriate me, but I was like, I got my eye on you. You're not some sweet old lady like you're trying to be. That's how I felt about Tova. Cameron, I felt like, cut you out of this book. You're bringing down the cast. You're bringing down our average. And then Avery felt like fictitious.
Yeah, she did.
AI. She felt like AI. Ethan and Tova, the nitwits, Marcellus. Yeah, strong. Really good characters.
I think so. Yeah. Those are the big things from the reviews. People loved it, or they hated Cameron. Or some people thought it was boring.
I think those are the only options that you can.
I know.
Like, really, you know?
Mm-hmm. That missing 0.5% is from Cameron.
Yes. I know. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, this has been fun. Oh, what are we reading next? Allie Hazelwood, Nerd Love. Is that what it's called?
No.
It's not called Nerd Love? No. What is it called?
I don't know, but it's not that. It was like
I think
the hypothesis or something.
Oh. Love on the Brain. No, the Love Hypothesis.
I really like Nerd Love. So we need to call it that now.
If you look at this is the most nerd love I've ever seen in my life.
I would rename it Nerd Love. I already know how I'm going to judge this book by its cover.
Chrissy, who is in a married nerd love. Very nerd love.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood. I think we're going to do 2 parts. We're thinking.
I think so. I think that sounds right.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
Super fun.
Okay. Well, I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.